welcome everybody. I am so excited for tonight. This is 9atNight show, and I'll tell you what we have tonight is it's all about the talent. We're talking about talent in national, internationally known tonight, and it's so exciting. My name is Christine Campbell. I'm your host with 9atNight. The best time to go on every weekday night is 9atnight.com. That's the number 9atnight.com. And so with this, I want to go ahead and get started with our show. We have some great introductions, and we'll be right with you. All right, our first guest, I'm so excited to bring her on. I want to go ahead and introduce her, and then I'll bring her on. But her name is Karla Johnson, and she's the responsible for our guest tonight. She's the owner of Creative World Model Talent Agency. So for Karla, life centers around her two passions. That's work and family. She's the happiest when she can actively be engaged in helping people reach their dreams, and also when she's with her children and grandchildren. Now, her business is Creative World, and that's the matriarch talent agency in Montana. She connects models and talents locally, nationally, and internationally for placement or signing, and she provides an avenue to a larger market that is hers. And I'll tell you, there is something so incredible about her when you meet her. She really, truly cares. Now, she's also loves genealogy and found out that many of her family ties were those in the entertainment industry, such as Elvis Presley, John Wayne, Walt Disney, Lucille Ball. Oh my gosh, those are some cool people, and many others. And Karla, she prides herself on having strong integrity, a trait which she believes others recognize in her. And if things become stressful, she's the first person to attempt to uncover the problem, diffuse the tension, and lighten the mood. So with that, I just can't say welcome enough, Karla Johnson.
Thank you, Christine. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm really excited to have you here, and let's talk about a little bit about your agency and how you came across our guest, and then I'm going to bring them on one at a time so we can get to know them. This is going to be a fun night.
Okay. Karla Johnson with Creative World Model and Talent Agency, and out of Billings. I work out of my home actually, but I represent talent all over the state of Montana, some Idaho, some North Dakota, some South Dakota, actually all over. I have people in California I represent too, but I've had a very huge influx lately of people reaching out to me from other states, which is awesome. But I have a lot of connections to international and national because of the model and talent agencies that I'm affiliated with. So yeah. And so Nina reached out to me. I'm not quite exactly 100% sure how she found out about me, but I'm grateful, and found out not only is she a lovely, talented model, and I love the fact that she didn't let her age discourage her. You know, I mean, a lot of people would not even think about, oh, well, I'm too old to get into modeling. Or she models some absolutely beautiful products and clothing out of Texas, I believe. She can enlighten you more about that, but the clothes she makes them just look fabulous. And then found out that she also has a very talented husband, and he is a lot in the music industry and acting as well. And I believe she told me they just did a Hyundai commercial or something together the other day. So they're a very talented couple, and that makes them a powerhouse because they're together. I think anytime you have somebody working together with you, that creates just a dynamic there that is unstoppable. So yeah. So but anyway, I appreciate her. I appreciate her and her. I appreciate Nina and Dawn and their diligence to go forward and make it happen.
Excellent. And you're kind of like the dream maker here, Karla. So this is the information to get to Karla. It's creativeworldinc.com. And is there anything else that you want to say about how to connect with you?
Oh, they can connect with me through that website, or also my phone number is 406-855-2761.
Okay, we'll get that up next time. Sure appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm excited to get going.
Thank
So we
you.
sure appreciate you. Yeah, definitely. So what we're going to do, we're going to move on here. I want to definitely let you tell about Nina here. Now, here, her name, I love her name. It's absolutely beautiful. It's Nina Shyne.
It is beautiful.
Alviar. Okay, thank you so much, Karla. We sure appreciate you. So Nina Shyne, she's a transformational coach with a focus on science-backed practices. And not only that, she's actually into recovery. And when this is an incredible story. So I'm just going to just highlight this really quick and we'll get into it when she gets on. But she back practices to recover from emotional eating after releasing almost 90 pounds of herself. We got pictures to prove it. And she is also a film and television makeup artist and special effects artist, singer, voice actor, and over 50 fitness model and inspiration, just as Karla is mentioning. She's also publishing a book and doing an online course, online group, speaking engagements and meditations, in addition to her personal coaching. So that is really exciting. So thank you so much for being here. And we just can't wait to learn from you. Thanks, Nina. And welcome.
Hey there.
So excited. My picture keeps coming off, but you know,
technology, it's tricky. I know.
It's going off and on. It's delayed. I like clicked it 5 times and so it's going like
wow,
that
I sound busy.
Yeah, you do. And,
okay.
And it's all true too. We got pictures to prove it. Before I start the pictures up and everything, let's hear how you met Karla and how you guys were able to do some magic together.
Sure. So actually, Karla, I do remember, I asked Allison Whitmer, who is the film commissioner here in Montana, who the best agent in Montana was when I was ready to start, really getting serious with more modeling and trying to get in front of the camera instead of being behind it so much. And so, so she recommended Karla, hands down, nobody else. It's Karla came up, and Karla and I had a wonderful conversation, and I just love how Karla is people first. Instead of, some other agencies can be like, ooh, what can I get out of this person? And, she's just so soulful and person first in the way that she treats all of her talent. And it was just such a great conversation. And she really gave me hope that, I'm going to be 51 in July, that there's a place for me, in modeling.
So beautiful for 51.
Thank you.
What I want to do, we want to first start with your transformation. So here's some pictures. Oh my heavens.
So I released 90, I say released instead of lost because I don't want to find it again. I released almost 90 pounds of fat, and my whole life I was yo-yo dieting, just like everybody else growing up in diet culture and exercise you hate and all that stuff, kept going up and down, and found myself here, over 200 pounds, and just physical stuff, started creeping in. And I knew that if I wanted to be a great mom to my boys, I needed to take care of my health. And instead of going back into diet and exercise world, I remembered when I was in my 20s, I had been to one group that was about emotional eating. And I was like, I wonder if that's the thing. Maybe, instead of trying one more shake thing, one more this thing, whatever it is, maybe I should do the inside work first. So I did. It took me a while, and I figured out why I was going for food when that wasn't what I really needed, healed my relationship with food, and learned about these really cool scientific things like neural plasticity, where you can rewire your brain, change your habits, change old stories through cognitive behavioral therapy. Went through all of this stuff. And then, I firmly believe that when we've overcome a challenge, that's our call to serve. And so I started coaching.
Oh, that's powerful. That is so. Look at this. Now, some of these other pictures, you are just such a doll. Look at that.
Yeah, okay, I have to work back up to that right now, but yes, I.
So all of that included the outer too, with the physical, right? The
Yes,
mental,
yes.
and then into
Well, you want to
physical.
make the outside match the inside. Once you feel so clear and good and powerful inside yourself, that's why my business is called Powerful Emotional Eating Coaching, is
Mhm.
because once you feel so good inside yourself, you want the outside to match, not the other way around. It's not when I get fit, I will be happy. When I get fit, I'll feel strong. When I get fit, I'll love myself. No, it has to start on the inside first. The inside work makes the outside work is my tagline for my business. So.
I love that. In fact, I have those posted. We are going to look at your Facebook page in a bit, but look how cute you are.
Thank you. I made myself giggle.
I just absolutely love it. I want to take your picture off for a minute so you can see this top right corner. You're sass. I mean, it's just cute.
And also Don is my photographer, who you'll be talking to later. He was trained by Larry Fink, a famous photographer in Los Angeles many moons ago, and Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, he's behind me in Pennsylvania, and and so he learned from one of the best. And I do hire local photographers too here in Missoula, but he does a lot of my pictures as well.
That is just cute as anything. So here you
said
this. Yeah, I just wanted to highlight. This is your own quote. So let's talk. I love it. So I'm going to have you talk about how you came up with that.
Because really, I think we've got it all wrong when we look at health and fitness. Mm-hmm. And truly, I mean, everybody's beautiful. You don't have to do what I'm doing with my body. This is my choice to be fit and trim and all that. Everybody is beautiful. But what happens when we start looking at emotional eating or any other kind of psychological addiction where we're trying to distract ourselves from what's really going on, what we're feeling, what we're thinking, there's a deeper misery and a deeper sadness and a deeper, just dissatisfaction, even with bored eaters, mm-hmm. in life. And getting into that inside work, suddenly the outside, it's one of my clients said, you know what, you're sneaky. It's really not about the food, is it? It's never been about the food. I'm like, right. Yes, no, because it could be anything. So that inside work is what makes that outside work. We're trained to think this diet will work, this exercise program, everything coming from the outside. And that's not really where the nobody's broken, but right. That's not where all those old stories are, and where that, kind of damage came from, is thinking that it comes from the outside in. Well, health, wellness, fitness is it's an inside job.
Something you said I absolutely love. And you said once that you learn about yourself and you have that good feeling and you feel like you've accomplished, then it's time for you to teach others. I love that. Everybody should be a teacher. That means they've achieved something, right? I love that. I have one more quote from you. You want to go through this one?
Yeah, but kind of just touched on that one too. Yeah, we have to be happy to change our bodies, happy with our bodies. These bodies are gifts that we have been given to live out what I call our divine assignment. That's actually from Lisa Nichols, one of my favorite public speakers. But our divine assignment, we've been given this body, this mind, to live our full potential, to live our passions, to be ultimate us on this planet, right? And to bring our gifts and to really be clear of all the stuff that's weighing us down. So the happier we are, like I said, we're more inclined to eat healthier, take better care of ourselves, and really say thank you for the gift that we've been given in this body. So if we're happy to change our bodies, right? Oh, great. I get to really put this thing in optimal form. Cool. This is going to be fun. Instead of going, yeah, well, when I'm thin, I'll be happy. Once I fit in that dress, once I, whatever, it's like I said, we've got it reversed. We completely have it reversed where we're looking for something on the outside that's going to fix what we really need to be fixing on the inside.
I absolutely love it. And then I love the last part. Read that.
I'm kind of sassy. One of my clients called me a feisty angel of transformation. I love that. I'm putting it on my business card. I'm kind of a no nonsense. I'm compassionate. Oh yes, but also it's like, okay, it's time to get the show on the road. You don't have any more time to waste. Let's go.
I love that. I love that. Well, this is your website, and I'm going to bring it up. And so everybody can see that's the website link, but I'm actually going to bring your website up because, you know what? I'm going to do that in a minute. What I want to do first is show some of your pictures. Now we're going to go into your career for the last 17 years into makeup, and we're talking all types of makeup. So I'm going to let you explain some of these photos that you.
So couture, I love to do makeup. This is with Leland Buck, and the photographer, and the with the model here. He and I just come up with interesting ideas for magazine shoots, print ads, things like that, with makeup that you just don't see everywhere. These like really out of the box ideas. And that's my favorite. I love doing commercials and, basic, we call it camera ready makeup, the kind of no makeup that you see. But man, when we can play and get really creative, that's a lot of fun. So yeah, this is one of my more creative makeups.
That's very cool. And then you have the Beauty and the Beast. Okay.
Yes.
So look at your diversity. I mean, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well, when I started doing makeup right out of high school, my sister got me a job at a salon in Beverly Hills. Don and I are both originally from Pennsylvania, but I was raised in LA, moved to Montana about 25 years ago. Anyway, but so I started with beauty makeup and then met a film makeup artist and apprenticed under her, and Nicoletta Scarlatos, who I've reconnected with recently on Instagram, which is great, and learned how to be on set etiquette. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't know how to behave on set, you're not going to get work. And so, yeah, so I learned a lot from her and did a lot of work there, Portland, Seattle. And then here in Montana, I took a break because my kids were younger, and we have to travel a lot for this kind of work. And I was homeschooling them, little too much there. But then 7 years ago, I started back up again, and there was a huge need for effects artists here. Now, I had barely done any effects in LA or Portland and Seattle. So I have an art background, and I was like, okay, I can probably figure out how to do this.
Oh my gosh.
So I got all the material. I got the magazines. What are the kids using these days? How does this work? And got a bunch of materials, and I'm, got some online courses and stuff, but I'm mostly self-taught. And I can do everything from bruises and, gory stuff that they need for the movies. And
I told my husband, she knows how to make bullet shots.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And really, oh my gosh. Yeah.
You gotta have a strong stomach for this work.
Now here you're on set and you're doing a couple of things. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So this is actually, I think it's okay to talk about now, but it's behind the scenes from a series that's out right now on the INSP channel. And it's called Into the Wild Frontier. And it's about trappers, and it's true stories of famous trappers like Daniel Boone and, guys like that. And I was the head of makeup and makeup effects for the series, which were, I don't know if I could say that yet. There's probably going to be more.
Oh my gosh, this is good. Get the inside scoop. Yeehaw.
Yeah, I know. You heard it here first, folks. But yeah, so the arrow gag, like this arrow sticking out of this man, like I did the whole thing, I got together with the props guy and said, how do we make this really stick in him the right way? And whatever.
I know, but how do they do that? I mean, do you have like putty or clay or something?
No, we figured out, I don't know if I want to share because it's like the new thing, because there's all these different kits with magnets and things and clay and putty and all, but it's a screw and arrow into a bolt that's attached with an ace bandage. It goes around the body with an ace bandage. Yeah, it's super easy. Yeah. Anybody can do it. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, I won't. This is just national. That's okay.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sure.
I love it. Okay, so now I want to go to your website on your makeup, because there is so much to see with what you have here. So here's your website. And when you go down here, I mean, look at this. I'm just like looking at all of this here going by, and there's more. So you can kind of guide me through it.
Yeah. So the first row there, obviously this is my beautiful model for the sample here. That was a magazine shoot. But injuries, aging, makeup, the guy who's going by there. Obviously creatures, bruises, cuts, all that kind of stuff. And really, I mean, that's what you end up, fake ears, fake fingers. But that's what you end up doing more in film. I think a lot of film students or makeup students will go expecting that they're going to work on Star Trek making a monster, Really what's going to happen is you'll end up making an ear for like 3 years, the same ear over and over again on one of the characters. You don't go out there designing all these big creatures, right? But bruises, cuts, bullet wounds, that's a blood rug that I made there going by. It's a roll. It looks like kind of like a fruit roll up. You can lay it down and not ruin any
Oh, you can get them big up there.
Yeah, that's a little gory. Sorry, viewers.
Yeah, I did mean
Yeah.
so right.
But,
So sorry. It's gory.
I know, right?
No matter what I do, it's gory.
But yeah, that actually just peels up off the floor like a fruit roll up. So I make the props. Don and I together make props. Rubber knives, things like that we use on set or we rent out to sets around the state as well. We do the big blood rigs with air. It's called air squibs, where there's tubing that goes to the actor's clothes and it looks like it's the blood spurting out the back of them. And it's all this tubing thing that Don helped invent. And anyway, yeah, so it's all like, I love that.
So I can handle it because I used to be in an ER operating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I look at a lot of those pictures.
Surge tech. Okay, so it's like no big deal, but I should have put a warning.
I look at a lot of those real life pictures, but yeah, that guy, we were going to send that picture to the coffee place and say how refreshing. Yeah, that's Don, and that was for Monsterpalooza or Son of Monsterpalooza. It's a big convention in California. That's my ex-husband, Alex. I melted his face just on a Sunday for fun.
Did it make you feel better?
We're actually all friends. It's the most delightful thing. He's actually here now with the kids. We're all friends. That's someone got their skull bashed on Robert the Bruce. And yeah.
Oh my gosh. There are so many.
Switch to the beauty pictures. They're going to upset your viewers.
I know. I'm like trying to get out of this. I don't know how to get out of this. Picture thing. It's just like it's getting worse.
It does get worse, probably. Yeah.
So I don't know how to stop the screen.
Oh, go to the X at the top, maybe. The X on the upper right.
Okay, I don't see it. That X on the right, it closes everything down. So
does it?
Let's do this.
Down here in the black screen.
Yeah, I'm just all black. Oh, I know where I can find it.
Okay.
Just funny. Oh, I can't get out of the gore. Oh, there it is. There's the X. Your picture was covering that. So there
we go. Okay. Yeah.
So now you got beautiful.
That's Huey Lewis. I did that wonderful photo shoot with him for Esquire magazine.
Oh, very good. I bet that was fun. Do people ask you if they're nice people?
Always. Who's the worst celebrity you ever? I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you that. We all have bad days. We all have bad days on set.
And there's your wonderful model that you did, and
little glam rocker guy there.
Yeah.
This is a basic makeup comparison. So no makeup on the left, and then with bare minimum camera ready makeup on the right.
A big difference. Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, so just some fun, funky stuff. So yeah, this is, and a lot of this, it's really interesting because I've been on the other side of the camera so much that now when I'm modeling, it's like, oh, I know what to do because I've watched all these people from behind the camera,
There you go.
Doing all this. So yeah, so it's just a really creative, wonderful life, with beauty and gory weirdness and and music and voiceover.
So cool.
And
what I want to do is I want to go to your, this is your Facebook page.
Yes.
And so this is what you mean by powerful coaching. So it's full coaching from emotion. And I love it because you're targeted to emotional eating. But see, now we're going to go in, we're going to bring your partner on. Yeah. And we're going to talk about him. We've got a couple commercials to take a break with. And then we'll all come back together and then you guys can talk about what you do together and have fun with and help others with too.
Yeah. And this is the best place to find me here on Facebook. I do have an email. It's spelled the same, Powerful Coaching Now at Gmail altogether. But this is a great way to find me, just messaging me on here if anybody's interested in the coaching work. And obviously just, friend me on Facebook if you want to know more about the makeup stuff and all that. And I'm just
I friended you. And so powerful, full is 2 L's.
Correct.
So we got to just make sure.
I know. Every time I post something, I'm like 2 L's in parentheses.
There you go. So I am so excited with you and thank you so much. We're going to take a break now. And so I sure appreciate it with one of our sponsors. Thank you so much, Nina. Isn't that fun? We get to have so much fun. We'll be back right after these messages. And just a quick stop for that. My book that is called Maybe 101, it's for anybody of any age that wants to do something for themselves. I love what Nina said, inside out. It's basically inside out. So it does cover a business, stay-at-home business, and it's network marketing from the inside out. Maybe 101, you can get that on Amazon, and people just seem to enjoy the contents, and I sure enjoying them. So anyway, we're going to go on with our next guest. So excited to introduce him. And this is Nina's partner. His name is Don Teschner. He has so much about him as well that is exciting. He's formerly of the Rod Stewart Band. Get that, right? I was looking up all of this history. He's an accomplished multi-instrumentalist with a rich history of playing with many bands and his own music. So his Americana swamp funk blues, remember that, okay? It's swamp funk blues. Music is not only featured on his own albums, but also on many television shows. He works in film with over 25 years of experience. So he played with Rod Stewart from 1990 to 96. With platinum albums and also 3 world tours. He was also on the MTV Unplugged and seated Rod Stewart special with Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones. Don's, besides playing anything with strings, I mean, I got one picture on here that will show it, and it's amazing, his talent, but his band is called Don Teschner and the Water Dogs. And we got some pictures for that. And that features Americana and of course the funk blues, swamp funk blues style. And so it's really exciting. You know, he's also done with a lot of working on sets, big features like Jurassic Park, Spider-Man 2, Traffic, and countless music videos. He was helped with Tom Petty's Don't Come Around Here No More. That was his first one he did to get that, the bug, and also on many commercials. So they live and work in Montana and also have a home in LA. So with that, I'm so excited to introduce our good friend, our new friend, Don Teschner.
Here I come. There I am. Hi.
It's so good to see you. Now let's talk about your background, and you're in your studio. Let's talk about your studio real quick.
Oh yeah. I've got it all.
Yeah, you sure do.
I've got, you can't see it, but there's a big screen here, and I do all my mixing and recording kind of right here. We have a vocal booth right over there, and then just a collection of few guitars and violins and mandolins and slides, and there's a pedal steel over there and some lap steels in the corner, and they got amplifiers and pedals and all the toys that a musician wants, even a keyboard over here.
Oh, you've got it set, you're made. So you play every instrument, that's stringed instruments. So how'd you get started? I mean, we're going to show some wonderful pictures of you with Rod Stewart.
Oh. How did I get started?
Yeah.
Neuroses mainly, you know. As a teenager, I hung out with some guys who were actually brilliant musicians. They're kind of genius musicians. They really are wonderful. And I was their sound guy. And slowly I would noodle around on their guitars and stuff. And slowly I got better, I guess. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I mean, I'm really impressed. So we have some pictures, just like we did with that. And so here you are with so let's talk about how you got involved with his band. And
yeah, I was actually playing in this place, Genghis Cohen, which is right across the street from where Rod was recording one of his records. I think it was Vagabond Heart. And I don't know how it relates to that so much as maybe it's kind of a long, convoluted story, but I did a record with this guy, Chicago guy. I'm spacing on his name right now.
For help, I can't help him. I'm over
Michael McDermott.
There you go.
Really beautiful singer-songwriter, kind of like mixed between Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen. Is how he was described. It was a Warner Brothers record, and a keyboard player came in on the very last half of the very last day of recording, and I met him, and I had done my mandolin and fiddle parts and harmonica parts all in one day. Like we recorded for 6 weeks, but I didn't record a note until the last half of the last day, and I did everything then. even did some harmony vocals. And then this guy, Kevin Savigar, came in and he played the B3 organ. And that's very same night, he had a session with Rod Stewart. He writes with him. He's been with him forever. And Rod just happened to ask him that night, do you know anybody who plays mandolin and fiddle? And he said,
Oh
oh, I
my
just worked with a
gosh.
guy. And it
Oh
was just
my
like
gosh.
a moment that we crossed paths. And that led to, I
Oh
got a
my
phone
gosh.
call from Rod's manager and said, there's a recording session. And then as I went in and did the session, and I didn't meet him, I didn't see him, nothing, but I heard his voice in it was a darkened control room. It's a big studio, a big Hollywood recording studio. And I didn't see or meet anybody. I just stood out in this room, this big empty room, and played parts on a bunch of different songs. And I heard some voices in the background, and one sounded familiar. And so they said, all right, come in the control room and listen, see what you think. So I came in, and there sat Rod Stewart and the producer, Nile Rodgers, I believe, was the producer. And I said, oh, can I use this phone? And they were like, yeah, go ahead. So I called my mom and I said, Mom, you'll never guess. I'm in the studio, standing right next to Rod Stewart. I just recorded on his record. And she said, yeah. And I said, Mom, she didn't,
Don't you
it didn't
get it?
register. It didn't register. It took a while before it did register, until I got her down to the first row at the Philadelphia Spectrum. And then she sat right there and watched the whole, yeah. It
And
took
she
a
was a
minute.
proud mom. Hey, I
Yeah.
was curious when you got the call from Rod's manager, did you like say, is this a joke? Really? Did you?
No, I was on the way out to a show with
Uh-huh.
my girlfriend at the time, Shannon Moore, and we were going to play at 8121 Club, which was it's a good place in Hollywood to play.
Mhm.
It was one of the first acoustic venues. So we were on the way out the door and the phone rang, and I walked right past it. She said, you're not going to get that? I said, nah. She said, get the phone. So I got the phone, I picked it up, and it was, hi, this is Malcolm. I have a recording session for you on Monday. It's noon at Lion Share Studios. I wasn't Lion Share, it was another studio. And I said, okay. I said, oh, by the way, who's this for? Or what instruments? And he said, and we talked for a bit. And then I said, oh, by the way, who's this for? And he said, Rod Stewart. I said, okay. And I hung up, got in the car, we started driving. And she said, who was a phone call from? And I said, oh, it was a session for Monday. She said, with who? And I said, Rod Stewart. And we both
Yet.
spontaneously started punching the ceiling of the car. No idea why. Never done that before. We both went, screaming at the top of our lungs, punching
We
the
all have
ceiling.
the kid in us. I jump on the bed once in a while. It's okay.
Yeah, that was,
I'm so
So-
happy for you. What a
Yeah.
story.
oh, there he is.
Yeah. Do you know what song you were playing on this one at all?
Geez, with him dancing like that.
That's okay. That's
At the
okay.
beginning of Maggie May, I would play the fiddle at the beginning, and then I'd run backstage, grab a mandolin, and come out for the big mandolin solo.
Oh, how cool.
It
Oh,
could
how
have been that. Yeah. Oh, I don't recognize that picture. Is that on our website?
You're, I got it
I'm-
sent. Yeah,
I
Talk
do
to
still
your
have that
partner.
vest though.
it's so cool. Now, this little poster thing, you have some poster, it's an older one, but it has all of these instruments that you play. That's impressive.
Yeah. That was my first collection. That's an ad for GHS strings. I was a big fan of GHS strings. I use them on all my instruments. And I gave him this idea. I said, what if we do a picture of me surrounded by my instrument? I was going to do it in the front yard naked with an instrument over me and have an aerial shot. And they said, yeah, well, I don't think we want to do that. But, I was a rocker at the time, so I was a little crazy. So I came up with this idea, the word every string. That was my idea. I said, just call it every string, like everything,
Mhm.
every string, right? Because I use your strings on every instrument. And they're like, okay. And they ran it through their ad. Oh my God, it was back and forth a lot before I finally convinced them to use the word every string. And then they did fluorescent coloring and stuff. And I was like, no, wood tones. It's all natural. It was a bit of a battle, but that was the final approval. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And it ran in Guitar Player and
Oh, yeah,
Mix
that's gorgeous.
Magazine. And yeah, it was a magazine ad.
That is awesome. I love it. And then these pictures are your current ones that you use?
Yeah, they were when I was living up in Topanga in LA. Did a photo shoot there.
Oh, it's good to keep updated. I love it.
Yeah.
Now we have some more. Now you do makeup too.
Well,
And
yeah,
so,
Nina's
yeah.
kind of convinced me that I'd be pretty good at it. And this is one of the first films I worked. I actually did makeup, and I did all the native face painting. They kind of guided me a little bit, and together we designed some native face paint that has meaning. It had there were reasons why they put this face paint on, certain spiritual reasons, and it was an amazing and what's the word? It was an honor. It was a
Oh,
real honor to work with the native actors on this film and really be accepted by them and be part of what we created together. My heart is just warm right now thinking about it.
that is so, I mean, that is incredible. And you to take the time to understand the meanings. That
Yeah,
says quite
we
a
actually
bit.
use their special paint. They have special paints and like they use dirt and clay and mud and stuff. And we came up with some really cool, it's very scary
Mhm.
face paints because they were, it was a battle, the
Mhm.
battle between them and yeah, I can't talk too much about the film yet. It's not out. So
Oh, this is so we get the inside scoop again. I'm
yeah.
going to share, if you don't mind, a short story. Nobody knows this. I don't say anything about it, but I grew up fiddling.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it took me to Nashville, and my children were born in Nashville. I married someone in the music industry, but I was doing concerts where it's electric fiddle. You know what that is.
Oh yeah.
And I opened up for Molly Hatchet at
Oh,
NASCAR Speed Week. And so
wow.
here's the scoop. It's on a Sunday, and for some reason I didn't pack any extra strings. So when you're talking strings, that made me think about it. And my agent is out there trying to find an high E string. It broke. I don't know why it did. And because I really bear down, I do the orange blossom and just kick on that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So what happened is I'm sitting on the stage. They just did their Molly Hatchet just did their warm-ups, okay, their sound checks and stuff, and so they're kind of leaving, but Bobby stayed around back, and he was going. They have like these these big carts of strings. They're just like 4 or 5, and they're loaded. They're like tool chests, big ones that
Yeah.
roll, filled with strings. And he's just going, is anything okay? I mean, is everything okay? And I go, yeah, I'm trying to find a string. And he goes, well, we got strings. And I said, well, do you have a high E string, for the guitar? And he pulls out all these drawers. We got a lot. Why don't you take one of these? And I used a guitar high E string on my high E string, and it worked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Halfway through your story, I was going to say you could use a guitar E string.
yeah, I did.
That's
I
what I was
did. So
thinking because I think I might have done that once or twice myself.
yeah, I
Because
never have. So it was a cool thing. I hope
nice.
you didn't mind me taking that time up, but I have a lot of caring and empathy for those fiddlers, those stringers.
Yeah.
I guess lived
Yeah.
it. Let's move on. You got some cool things going on. You got a band, the Don Teschner and the Water Dogs Band with your partner in it. So let's talk
Yep.
about this.
Well, in LA, it got to the point where I was doing everybody else's music and not my own.
Mhm.
And I had a lot of songs and I had a record. Didn't quite make the mark I wanted to with that record, but there were some really good songs on it. And I've written a lot since then. And it was just time for me to start doing my own music because doing other people's music is fine and it's fun and all, but it doesn't have, okay. In between Rod Stewart tours, I played Genghis Cohen, again, that same place I was talking about earlier. And there were maybe 20 people in the audience, and just doing that show, playing my songs with the band I put together, we were called The Water at the time.
Mhm.
That was so much more satisfying than playing in front of 100,000 people at Wembley Stadium. It was just, I know that sounds a little weird or maybe even arrogant, but it was just so much more satisfying doing my own songs, singing my own songs. So it felt like that's what I really needed to do. And once I got up here to Montana, I really started focusing on that, and with Nina's help, was able to put this band together. And wow, it's been amazing. It's been really, really good.
Well, and what Nina didn't have in her bio is that she sings and
Yeah.
manages the band. And so, I mean, she's full of surprises, isn't she? That's just
I've
absolutely.
never met a human being like her, and I'm done looking.
That's the right thing. That's it. And I appreciate it. Now, also, if you just Google Don Teschner, you're going to get all kinds of websites. Reverb Nation came up. And so you have some music on there with your band. And then
Yeah.
there is another, the Swamp Funk Blues. So what I want to do is play some of your music from here. But let's go ahead and get both of you, get Nina on. And both just come on over, Nina. This is great. And thanks for letting me interview you both individually, because it's just, you guys are such a darling couple. And it's just wonderful to share with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, isn't that the cutest? You guys are just the cutest couple. But I have the website out that I want to bring up. So let me go from here to your website right here, and we want to play a couple of tunes. So I know you mentioned Going Down to Louisiana as one of them. We're going to play probably about a minute is all. So
yeah.
Okay, so here we go. I can't wait. I heard them, but I can't wait for everybody else too, because these are really good. Let's get Karla on here too. Karla, you there?
I'm going down to Louisiana.
Here, I'm here. I'm just blowing on you.
Woo, going down to Louisiana, girl. All the way alone. 'Cause they just don't treat me here, babe, like I do when I'm at home. I'm gonna hop me a train or on a Greyhound bus, I'll ride. Woo, gonna hop me a train or on a doggone bus, I'll ride. 'Cause I'm about to go insane without the pull of the full moon tide.
Okay, that's about as much as I dare. I mean, they did. I don't. So let's talk about that song. Who wrote it, and when did you do that, and the meaning?
Yeah, I wrote that. I played. Oh yeah, okay. That's Matt Tecchio on drums and Lou Castro on bass. Yeah, that was one of those. I was in the bathtub when I wrote that one.
You know, it's good to hear this inspiration now. It can help anybody out there, right? Get the candles, get a big
Take more
notepad, and
baths.
take a
Yeah.
good bath.
Take more baths. I think she says that to me pretty much every day.
Oh.
No. I think I used a little tape recorder and sang it into the little, one of those mini cassettes, one of those things. And I often write on those. Like I just will come up with an idea like that. And yeah, that one came pretty quick and easy too.
Oh, that
There was
is
a period
awesome.
of time. They come in chunks, and sometimes I got that one, Get Up, and what's the other one? Whiskey Town, almost immediately at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so which one do you want me to play next? This is fun.
Boy.
Whiskey Town's kind of jamming, and then I have a funny story about Under the Big Sky.
Okay, so we'll do the Big Sky last. So we'll do Whiskey Town, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
Whiskey Town, down to live in California, doing the wind down road. Russian girl sitting on a whiskey lake. Mountains in the distance from the blazing sun. The way to get away is all the way down to Whiskey Town. Whiskey Town. Whiskey Town. Whiskey Town. Jupiter was on the rise. The sound of the fiddle was in the air. The long hot days and even hotter nights. So a shooting star way over there, yeah. Over Whiskey Town. Whiskey Town.
That's great. Okay, so did you have a story about that one?
Yeah, that's a story. Oh my God.
Maybe I shouldn't have picked that one.
We're up in Redding, California, doing a show opening for Mark O'Connor. Or you might know who Mark O'Connor is. He's considered the greatest fiddle player, guitar player, and mandolin player all at the same time, winning many. What?
Toned down version.
Hmm?
Toned down version of the story. Go ahead.
Oh, shit.
Somebody's blushing, but that's all right. We got it. Uh-oh.
And Whiskey Town is a place. The only thing left of Whiskey Town is the post office, because there's a Lake Mead. No, not Lake Mead. They put a dam up, and they flooded what was called Whiskey Town. So it's all underwater except for the post office. That's the only thing that survived. I actually have a stamp from the post office in my passport. And I just thought it was the coolest name. And it was a fantastic adventure. It's a true story. What's on there is it's all a true story about me being chased by a bear and running down the street and my cowboy boots sliding all over. And then the cops rescued me. And then there's much more on the fringes of that story that is.
Oh my gosh, everybody's got to Google the lyrics to Whiskey Town. Just did.
It is a true story though, for sure.
I love it. This is really good stuff. And we have one more. Time for one more. Which one is that?
Under the Big Sky?
Sure.
That's got a long intro.
It's got a long intro, but
Tell the story.
What's interesting about Under the Big Sky is when he and I first reconnected, I knew him back when he played with Rod Stewart, and then we reconnected 30 something years ago.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Later.
Yeah, sorry, 30 years later. And I was listening to his music on Spotify, and I was like, oh, Under the Big Sky, you've been to Montana, right? The lyrics of the song are exactly describing living in Montana, that everything's easier under the big sky. It's okay. It's all right. Everything's easier under the big sky. And I'm like, oh, he's been here. That's what it feels like to live in Montana. And he said, no, I've never been there.
I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What does that have to do with Montana? Because it's big sky country.
Right.
I didn't know.
And then he ends up living here.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you were right. It is about Montana.
If you think it's going to happen, you just know that. So I can't wait to hear it. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Is that a 12th string?
Yes, it is.
When you're feeling alone and you're stuck inside your place, nowhere feels like home, and all you need is space. You know what they say, it's a final frontier. Maybe you just need to get far away from here. Whoa, whoa. It's okay, gonna be alright. Everything's easier under the big sky. It's okay, gonna be alright. Everything's easier under the big sky. Just as you start your day, you get on your knees and pray. It's not just what you do, it starts with what you say. if you follow true with your crazy ideas, whatever you want to do, you can get there from here. It's okay, gonna be alright. Everything's easier under the big sky.
You know that lyric right there. You are now in Montana. You wrote yourself over there.
Yeah.
I
I
love
think I might
those
have played all the
songs.
instruments on that one
You
too.
did. That's the thing.
Very-
These are all older recordings, and right now we're in the studio re-recording some of the older songs with me singing on them. I'm not
Yeah.
on a lot of these, and just remixing and doing some of that. And then of course he's got hundreds of new songs that all need to be enjoyed
A
by
lot of them.
others. Yeah.
A lot
That
of
is so cool.
not just
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
by
love
us.
them. I need
Yeah.
to know when a new album comes out. So I have your Facebook page. Did it show up?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is your Facebook page. It's just basically Don Teschner, that's Deschner, and the Water Dogs, and that's DAWGS. I really like that too. I don't know how that happened, guys. Okay, let me get back here.
What did you
Just-
order on?
I don't know what it said. I hope it's
I
okay.
know. It's fine.
It's just Amazon. I don't
I
know.
know. He's giving you a hard time.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
anyway, so this is really cool. It's great to be connected. You have both websites you've seen or both Facebook pages, and look at these cute pictures of these two. How
Emma
darling.
at the bar. That's her t-shirts we were modeling for her. This is us in Bozeman down there going to of course we were on a shoot in Bozeman and just had to visit the music store there and couldn't leave without a couple friends.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, and a couple of guitars, right?
Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah.
that's
gosh.
what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
yeah, and so we have a lot of stuff on there. We have some live shows. I think I mentioned, when the pandemic hit, I started the first live stream. Everyone had live stream music festivals, and
Mhm.
I would like to claim that I was the first one to do it because it was right after my friends were posting. They weren't able to get work, and they were posting their live streams and asking for donations. So I thought, what if we put on a
Oh.
festival? And so we put on about 7 of them. So you'll see some of those Sequester Fest
And the
little
group-
live concerts there on it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is excellent. I sure appreciate that. Well, darn, Karla, it's been, how's the update? Y'all updated with what they're doing now?
Oh, hi, Karla. We've been
Hi,
doing
Karla.
stuff.
Yeah.
Karla was great. She sends us opportunities
No,
to be
you
in
guys
these
have been
films.
great. I've been enjoying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And Carly, you'll send us these like, oh, hey, do you want to try out for this role? And we're like, well, we're already working it, but with makeup or sound or makeup and something else. So
Right.
That is so cool. You just
Yeah.
did a commercial
We
shoot.
gotta
So you
get you
both,
on the other side.
I
We
know.
gotta work on getting them on the other side. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
there you go. So you both have movies you can't talk about. How exciting. You can talk about it after it's out, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then you'll have you back on the show and you can hear, talk
We'd
about.
love to-
Yeah, and you can check out the INSP. He unfortunately had a medical thing and couldn't be on that shoot, but for the INSP channel for Into the Wild Frontier, it's really cool.
It's amazing, and the reviews are over the top.
Yeah, you can check them all out on YouTube or on the INSP channel. They have links on
Okay.
the Facebook page. But yeah,
And if
I
it
love it.
film again, if
yeah, it does. He's on it.
I'm on it. I might end up being in it too. I
Yeah,
end
that
up
happens
in
to you.
everything we do as well. So
This was a wonderful time this evening. It's just been a
Yeah.
pleasure to meet you too. And thank you, Karla.
You're welcome. Thank you. And you guys, that was fabulous. I learned a little bit more about them too. So
yeah,
it's great.
thank you, Karla.
Definitely is.
Thank you, Carla.
Well, it's about that
Yeah,
time,
very,
guys.
very wonderful song.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Oh, I love this song. See, I'm gonna, it's $7. I saw the 7 to get something.
There's a reason why I sent you that particular site as opposed to the
Yeah.
free streaming ones where we get a penny for 7,000 plays.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. Yeah. I just, you'll have to gear me somewhere else if you get a little bit more or something. Okay.
Oh, we
Yeah,
will. Yeah, it's
we will.
coming. Mhm.
Okay, so you guys, thanks so much. We'll definitely have you back. I can't say enough about very talented, incredible people here. And that is Dawn and Nina. Isn't that a pretty picture?
That's
love it.
gorgeous.
My
Gorgeous.
friend
love it.
Donovan Freeberg took that picture. He's Stan Freeberg's son.
That is
With him.
absolutely
He's
gorgeous.
a
It's
brilliant
beautiful.
photographer, Donovan.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to say goodbye.
Great.
And
Oh.
we'll definitely have it back.
Okay.
We just got started, right?
It really feels like that
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. Really
Thank you
enjoyed that.
so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. And we'll have the
Thank
recording.
you.
The recording is at 9atnight.com/podcast. So you'll be there in the morning. So everybody, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and get moving ahead here. I'm going to click this off. And what a wonderful night. We have Karla is our talent scout, and she brings on some incredible talent. And her contact is Karla Johnson, creativeworldinc.com. You've heard from Dawn and Nina about how she was the #1 choice in the whole state when they called to find a talent scout. So definitely call Karla. And so with that, I just want to say 9 at Night is every weekday night. We have a different topic, and it is every night. On Monday nights, it's about leaders. In the network marketing business, it's all about the business. Tuesday, it's all about the drive, and that's all motorsports, okay? And Wednesday is all about the talent, and we just had incredible talent that was shared with us tonight. Thursday, it's all about the money, and that's more the financial end of everything. And then we have, it's all about the fun, and that's where we actually go around the world with some world travelers and get to have fun with them. So and destinations too. So it's so much fun to be with 9 at Night. Just go ahead and click on 9atnight.com. It's the number 9atnight.com, and you can get on our Zoom anytime live if you just scroll down the homepage and click on that big Zoom box. So with that, I can't say thank you enough for joining us tonight, and we sure appreciate you.
Thank you.
Come on now. Say hey. Listen up, y'all, 'cause I've got something to say. Hey, hey. Well, you better get ready, 'cause you know I came to play. Hey, hey, I'm tired of sitting around. It's time to wake up this time. Come on, get on up, y'all. It's time to take it to the streets. You and me. I got a feeling this is gonna be the one to be. Guaranteed. I just wanna party. Keep on moving my body. So let's get it started. Baby, I'm ready to fly. I ain't crazy, but I'm